Welcome to CFG World. My name is Nada Valenska Smith, and I'm here with some CFG students and benefactors, and we are going to be talking about how they became involved with CFG World and how it has impacted their life, and perhaps how it may also impact yours. Hello there. Please share a little bit about yourself.
My name is Bishop Carl Gale, and senior pastor of Agape Covenant Temple here in South Florida. And I became involved with CFG World about 7 or 8 years ago, and along with my wife, Angel, we were doing a broadcast on radio, and Miss Vaughn, Joy Vaughn, the facilitator, um, had ideas of doing a program like this based upon the information that we had gone through, subject matter that we had gone through on the numerous radio broadcasts. So it became a project in which we were building as we went along. When she finally got the first project together, entitled "The 7 Steps of Courage," which I participated in along with my wife. Um, th- that's when we really started to see that this is a very, very valid kind of ministry that's needed, not necessarily for, quote, Bible study on a weekly basis in the church, but really a study that needed to be possibly on a weekly basis, but with biblical foundation and working that biblical foundation in your daily lives.
Very good. We're going to talk about that further in just a minute. I'd like your wife to introduce herself and let us know a little bit about your life.
My name is Angel, and I serve alongside my husband in the church. Um, I also did the very first CFG, which would be Courage. And because Joy and I, well, actually, the three of us had formed such a great relationship over the years, and many times she shared with us the upcoming project. It first starts in the heart and the head before it actually happens. And so when everything actually finally got together, I was willing, along with my husband, to be really one of the first partakers. As pastors, we really believe it's very valid and necessary. And we wanted to be first partakers. When you participate in something, you know it's good, then you're even more energetic in sharing it with other people.
Absolutely, very good. So, Carl, would you tell us what was the biggest thing that you got out of Courage? What was the main discovery that really impacted your life and that is still to this day, and almost, sometimes we have something that every day reminds us of a course that we took or that actually is helping you continue to use the course in your life?
That's a very, very good question, and it's one that projected me to even follow deeper into what Sister Joy was trying to do. The 7 Steps of Courage dealt with the 7 steps of attributes of God Himself, and are you applying those, quote, as a Christian in your own life? Now, the 7 steps, there's 7 steps going up, and the 7 steps coming down.
Correct.
So you had to find where you were on that ladder and ask yourself, am I working this or doing this according to God? Is it God's way that I'm living this particular courage? So you have to find where you are and to build from that. And you're either going to go up or you're either going to go down. But the actual concept of it is, for instance, one of the attributes was of the 7 steps of courage how fearful are you?
Oh, yes, of
And
course.
how do you deal with it? And how are you dealing with it? And be surprised myself that how I was dealing with some of those uh, um, questions within myself. Am I dealing with my marriage the right way without
Correct.
fear? And if I'm having fearful
Hmm.
situations that's coming up in my marriage, am I seeking God to be able to help me perfect that and to win that particular
Hmm.
battle that I'm going
Correct.
through? So that's the main one that I focused on. And
Hmm.
once I sought God and asked Him to help me with that particular attribute, all of the other six fell in line. But again, it took work. You had to go back into
Yes,
those situations and perfect it.
absolutely. How about you, Angel? Thank you. How about you?
Well, I liked, especially, there is a project that we're all required to do. And I like to see tangible victory.
Hmm.
And my particular project was I was going to create this 24-hour prayer station. And you start from the very first thing, and by the end of the course, you should have that done. And so I liked in all of those steps, just like he was saying, you still
Hmm.
had to do all the steps,
Hmm.
but all of us also had to do a project.
Mm.
And I liked the idea of walking through day by day over that time period, and at the end, seeing a tangible victory.
Excellent.
Amen.
Very good. So, how has your life changed now as a result of taking the course? What is the biggest change that you've noticed for yourself out of participating?
Oh, definitely. Going through that particular project and getting into a deeper Bible study on those particular topics
Hmm.
solidifies you in actually being able to look squarely at the enemy face to face and say, "Listen, I got this with the
Yes.
help of my God."
Correct. Very good. How
It's,
about you?
you know, you develop that attitude after a while, but again,
Absolutely.
too, you have to have that foundational that's built within. So when that step number three comes and takes a look at you again, pays you that second visit, oh, I've got it.
Then you can, yes,
With,
utilize
with,
it.
with the help of with the help of the Lord, I've got this one, and this is how I'm dealing with you.
Very good. Very good. How about you, Angel?
Well, her books have actually the steps.
Hmm.
And we're talking specifically about courage. For me personally, it's like it does not matter what it is I need courage in.
Hmm.
I understand it's step by step, and I understand if I stay with the steps, I will get the victory.
Very good. Now, what would you say to somebody who's considering taking the course, but who may be on the fence about it, or maybe has concerns or questions, or maybe something that you dealt with before actually doing the course? What would have stopped you, and what did you overcome to actually enroll in the course and have it give you these results?
Well, I think the first thing that I would encourage anyone to do is just jump in,
Mm.
because if you think about what you don't have or what you cannot achieve, then that's what's going to prevent you from actually taking the course and actually if you follow through
Mm.
all of the steps and do it the way you're supposed to do it,
Yes.
okay, you will succeed, and you see a whole different person. There's a whole change. But fear can be that factor that says, with other people and all of this, and they're gonna know my business and all of that.
Right.
You see, that becomes a fear. So
Mhm.
that would be my initial thing. Just jump in
Thank
and
you.
allow God to help you.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Angel, how about you?
Well, I think, like he's saying, you need to jump in, and then you need to be committed.
Hmm.
But I believe she has like almost a built-in system to help you stay committed, and that
Yes.
is you're not doing it by yourself.
Right.
Jump
Yes.
in, stay committed. You can get to the end, but that's the two things. There's an old saying that says you study long, you study wrong. So you jump in and you just stay committed after you jump in.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, any final words for either Joy and the CFG World community or other people, other believers out there in the world?
I would just say, just allow God to lead you and to guide you, and you will succeed. But it's just taking that first step of courage. And if you're concerned about your fear, just say, God, help me to and take this first step.
Great.
That's the key.
That's the key. Thank you very much. Miss Angel, anything else?
Well, I would say to Joy specifically, be encouraged and stay encouraged. It's working.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to all of those who are considering, do it. Just do it.
Great. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you being here.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Vivian.
God bless you.
Bless you too.